Hi everyone, Josh Guest here. For new entrants to the Bitcoin space, there's a lot to learn. We've never had anything quite like Bitcoin, fully decentralized, completely digital, perfectly apolitical, and financially freeing. It's simply the best money we've ever had, and it can be difficult to wrap your head around that. That said, those who are willing to put in the time to learn will find a plethora of resources. For that reason, it's disheartening to see people who obviously have spent so little time trying to understand Bitcoin that they're unable to formulate anything but illogical attacks against it. A recent Twitter post certainly falls into that category. Quote, this Bitcoin scarcity argument is very disingenuous. Are assets really scarce when they can be divided into 100 million pieces? End quote. There's a lot wrong with that tweet, but let's start with the basics. Scarcity and divisibility are not the same. You'd think that would be obvious, but apparently it isn't to some people. The term scarcity is used in the context of total supply, specifically when total supply is relatively finite. So, for example, we wouldn't refer to bananas as scarce since people are constantly growing more of them. Nor would we get away with calling fiat currency scarce, especially in today's world where new fiat can be printed with a click of a button. But we could certainly call Bitcoin scarce, seeing as there are and only will be ever 21 million, while there are billions of people who are going to try to acquire them. Divisibility, on the other hand, is something different altogether. It doesn't refer to total supply, it instead quantifies how much each unit of that supply can be divided. But whether I divide each unit into 2 pieces or 200 pieces, I'm still left with the same amount that I had before I started. In short, scarcity and divisibility are not two sides of the same coin. They're two different characteristics altogether, and mixing them up while trying to attack Bitcoin is sure to fail. So why does scarcity and divisibility matter in Bitcoin? The importance of scarcity to Bitcoin is relatively easy to understand, and it's a topic I write about very frequently. And it's certainly easy to understand it in the context of money that isn't scarce, like fiat. Fiat currencies are not at all scarce thanks to currency inflation. Currency inflation robs people of their economic output and their time, and it eliminates their ability to save their way to a successful future. Inflation benefits the individuals who control the money printer at the expense of everyone else. A lot of the present and past inflation being experienced around the globe can be traced back to currency inflation. Its effects are devastating. So why does monetary scarcity matter? Because it allows people to save without fear of losing value over the long term, and because it allows them to be appropriately compensated day after day for spending their time and energy in economic endeavors. People are turning to Bitcoin because its perfectly limited supply helps make it the most trustworthy money in the world. Bitcoin is highly divisible. As the misguided attacker we referenced before correctly stated, each Bitcoin is divisible into 100 million pieces, or Satoshis or sats for short. And the reality is that there's no theoretical limit to how subdivisible Bitcoin can really be. Many crypto banks and layer 2 solutions already divide Bitcoin further than 100 million pieces in their ledgers. And the same could happen on the Bitcoin blockchain itself if the community decided to make that change. But why does divisibility matter? In my opinion, Bitcoin's immense divisibility is important because of its destiny as a unit of account. In other words, in order for Bitcoin to be usable in valuing goods and services around the globe, it has to be able to be divided in as many parts as buyers and sellers need. Otherwise, either the buyer or the seller may be leaving money on the table, so to speak. Bitcoin's value will continue to grow thanks to its immense scarcity and its growing desirability as money. But Bitcoin's near infinite divisibility means it will be able to be used as money no matter how valuable each unit becomes.